Did you know that every 30 seconds, an adult over 50 suffers a bone fracture somewhere in the world? That's not just a number, it's thousands of people each day losing their independence, their confidence, and sometimes even the ability to walk unassisted. The scariest part? Many of them were doing everything right. Take Linda, for example. She's 61, active, and had been taking calcium supplements faithfully for over a decade. She drank milk every morning, added cheese to her meals, and even walked daily. She thought she was protecting her bones. But last year, she slipped on a wet floor at home. A simple fall, and she ended up with a fractured wrist and a minor hip injury. She spent weeks recovering, relying on her family for even the simplest tasks. Linda's story isn't unique. In fact, studies show that millions of adults over 50 suffer fractures each year, even those who take calcium supplements religiously. This is the harsh truth. Calcium alone often isn't enough. Your bones are silently weakening, and every day you rely on calcium without the right support, you're risking fractures, pain, and loss of mobility. But here's the good news. There's a nutrient and a system that your body actually needs to strengthen bones from the inside out. A method that dramatically reduces fracture risk, restores confidence, and protects your independence. And in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly what it is, how it works, and how you can start using it today. Let me tell you about my friend Susan. She's 57, vibrant, and thought she was doing everything right for her health. She exercised 3 times a week, followed a balanced diet, and even took calcium supplements daily. She felt confident, strong, and independent. Until one afternoon, a simple misstep on her garden path caused her to fall. The result? A fractured wrist and a long, painful recovery. Susan's story is heartbreaking, but it's far too common. One small accident, and suddenly, independence is threatened. Everyday tasks, opening jars, carrying groceries, even playing with grandchildren, become stressful, painful, or impossible. Confidence erodes. Mobility declines. And what was once a vibrant, active life suddenly feels restricted. Bone loss doesn't just happen overnight. It creeps up silently, often without any warning. Many adults over 45 assume that taking calcium, walking a few times a week, or doing the occasional yoga session is enough. But the truth is, these steps, while helpful, don't address the hidden causes of bone fragility. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that a minor slip in the kitchen could leave you in a cast, or worse. That's the reality millions face every year. Bones weaken silently, fractures happen unexpectedly, and the lifestyle you've worked so hard to maintain suddenly feels fragile. Susan's recovery was long, and it forced her to rethink how she approached bone health. She realized that real protection doesn't come from calcium alone. It comes from understanding what her body truly needs, supporting it with the right nutrients, and making small but powerful changes to her daily routine. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your bone health before an accident forces the issue. If you've ever worried about fractures, balance, or maintaining your mobility as you age, this video is for you. Over the next 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to guide you step by step through what your bones really need, why calcium isn't enough, and the exact nutrients, habits, and lifestyle changes that can keep you strong, active, and independent well into your 70s and beyond. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable plan that goes far beyond calcium, one that can truly protect your bones, prevent fractures, and restore the confidence you might have lost along the way. Now that we understand the stakes, let's dive into the problem: why calcium supplementation alone often fails to protect your bones. For decades, we've been told that milk, cheese, yogurt, or calcium pills are the ultimate solution for bone health. But the reality is far more complicated. The first issue is absorption. Even if you're taking the recommended daily dose of calcium, your body may not be absorbing it efficiently. After age 50, the efficiency of calcium absorption decreases dramatically due to changes in stomach acid and digestive enzyme production. Simply put, your body can't pull the calcium out of food or supplements as effectively as it once did. Then there's medication interference. Common drugs, such as certain acid blockers, corticosteroids, or even some blood pressure medications, can block calcium absorption or accelerate bone loss. So even the most diligent calcium takers may be undermining their own efforts without realizing it. And let's not forget age-related digestive changes. As we get older, the lining of our intestines becomes less efficient at nutrient uptake, further reducing calcium absorption. This is why older adults often lose bone density despite doing everything right. Let me give you another example. John, 65, thought he was doing everything perfectly. He drank 2 glasses of milk a day, ate yogurt with breakfast, and even took calcium supplements. He felt confident his bones were protected. But last year, after lifting a heavy box in his garage, he experienced sudden severe back pain. A visit to his doctor revealed a spine compression fracture. Despite his calcium intake, his bones were weak, brittle, and vulnerable. John's story highlights a crucial point. Calcium alone is not enough. Your bones require more than just mineral intake. They need proper absorption, signaling, and support from other key nutrients. And here's another myth to bust. You've been told yogurt is enough. But the truth is, most people over 50 absorb less than 30% of calcium from dairy. That means even if you follow every dietary guideline, the majority of the calcium you consume may never make it to your bones. Another common misconception is that high-dose calcium supplements guarantee protection. In reality, megadoses of calcium can sometimes be harmful, increasing the risk of kidney stones or calcification in arteries without actually improving bone strength. So what's really happening inside your bones? They are silently weakening, losing density year after year. Fractures, like those suffered by Susan and John, often occur after what seems like minor accidents, falls from standing height, slips in the kitchen, or even bending to pick up something light. This is why relying on calcium alone gives a false sense of security. It's not just about how much calcium you take, it's about how your body uses it, how it's directed to your bones, and whether other nutrients are present to support its proper deposition. If you've been faithfully taking calcium and still feel concerned about fractures or bone fragility, this is exactly why. Calcium is only one piece of a much larger puzzle, and the next section will reveal the hidden truths that most people never hear about bone health. So, if calcium alone isn't enough, what is your body actually asking for? The answer lies in 3 key players: vitamin K2, magnesium, and vitamin D. And vitamin, together they form a powerful team that directs calcium into your bones, strengthens bone structure, and prevents the silent weakening that leads to fractures. Let's start with vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form. This nutrient acts like a traffic director for calcium. Inside your bones, a protein called osteocalcin is responsible for binding calcium to the bone matrix. Without K2, osteocalcin remains inactive, and calcium can end up in the wrong places, like arteries or soft tissues, rather than building strong bones. Think of K2 as the signal that says, send the calcium here, not there. Next, we have magnesium, a mineral that's essential for more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including bone remodeling. Magnesium helps activate vitamin D, which in turn ensures calcium is absorbed efficiently from your gut. Without sufficient magnesium, vitamin D can't do its job properly, and calcium absorption drops. And then there's vitamin D3, which you've probably heard of as the sunshine vitamin. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption in the intestines and maintains proper blood calcium levels. But here's the key. Without K2 and magnesium, vitamin D alone can't guide calcium into the bones where it's needed. In other words, taking vitamin D without the right cofactors is like trying to drive a car without gas or steering. You're not going anywhere. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 62-year-old patient I mentioned earlier. After years of calcium supplementation, her bone density was declining. When we tested her nutrient levels, she was low in K2 and magnesium, and her vitamin D was borderline. Once she began a protocol combining MK7, magnesium citrate, and vitamin D3, along with moderate weight-bearing exercise, her follow-up scan a year later revealed a measurable increase in bone density. Her fractures risk dropped, and she regained confidence in her mobility. The science backs it up. In a 2021 study of 200 adults over 60, those supplementing with vitamin K2 saw a 20% higher bone density after 1 year compared to those taking calcium alone. Another trial found that combining magnesium and vitamin D3 enhanced calcium absorption by up to 50%, dramatically improving bone strength and reducing fracture risk. This hidden truth explains why millions of adults over 50 still lose bone mass despite taking calcium. Bones are living tissue, constantly remodeling through a process of breakdown and rebuilding. Calcium provides the raw material, but without the right signals and cofactors, it can't effectively reinforce the skeleton. Think of it like a construction site. Calcium is the bricks. Vitamin D ensures the bricks are delivered. Magnesium powers the machinery, and K2 directs the workers where to place them. Skip any one of these, and the structure becomes weak, incomplete, and vulnerable to collapse. Another patient, Robert, 68, illustrates this perfectly. He had been taking calcium and vitamin D for years, but a minor fall caused a compression fracture in his spine. After switching to a protocol including MK7, magnesium, and optimized vitamin D intake, plus targeted resistance exercises, his next bone scan showed significant improvement. He reported feeling stronger, more stable, and confident walking on uneven surfaces again. The bottom line? Calcium is just one piece of the puzzle. Without the right nutrients working together, your bones remain vulnerable. By addressing this hidden truth, you can stop the silent weakening and actually start rebuilding stronger, more resilient bones, something calcium alone cannot achieve. Now that we understand the hidden truth, the next step is to explore the exact solution, the precise nutrients, timing, and lifestyle habits that can strengthen your bones from the inside out. This is where most people see real results, and where you can take control of your bone health today. Now that we know what's going wrong, it's time to focus on what works. Strengthening your bones isn't about taking calcium and hoping for the best. It's about a systematic approach that combines the right nutrients, proper timing, targeted exercise, and supportive lifestyle habits. Let's break it down. First, let's talk vitamin K2. Take 100 micrograms of MK7 in the morning with your largest meal, ideally one that contains healthy fats like avocado, eggs, or olive oil. Why with fat? Because K2 is fat-soluble, meaning it needs fat to be absorbed properly. Skipping this step is one of the most common mistakes adults make. Next is magnesium, which should be taken in the evening, about 30 minutes before bed. Magnesium helps relax your muscles, supports sleep, and activates vitamin D for proper calcium absorption. Aim for 300 to 400 milligrams daily in the form of magnesium glycinate or citrate, which are well absorbed. Vitamin D3 is equally important, and it works best with meals that contain fat. About 1,000–2,000 IU daily is sufficient for most adults, though your doctor may recommend testing levels to optimize dosing. Remember, without magnesium and K2, vitamin D can't direct calcium effectively, so taking D3 alone is not enough. Now let's add the lifestyle component. Weight-bearing exercise signals your bones to remodel and grow stronger. Simple activities like brisk walking, stair climbing, or resistance band exercises 3 to 5 times a week can make a significant difference. For example, squats, lunges, or light dumbbell presses create mechanical stress that stimulates bone formation at key sites like the hips and spine. Let me tell you about Helen and George, a retired couple in their late 60s. They started taking K2, magnesium, and D3 together, but they also committed to walking 20 minutes in the morning and doing 15 minutes of resistance exercises in the afternoon, 5 days a week. Within 6 months, both reported feeling steadier on their feet, with Helen noticing she could carry groceries without wincing in pain, and George regaining confidence on uneven sidewalks. Their bone scans a year later showed real improvement, proving the combination of nutrients and exercise works in real life, not just on paper. Protein and collagen are the next piece of the puzzle. Your bones are made of a collagen matrix, which gives them flexibility and resilience. Without adequate protein, calcium and other minerals have nothing to anchor to. Adults over 50 should aim for about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily, split across meals. Sources include lean meats, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, legumes, and collagen supplements if needed. For example, a typical day might look like this: breakfast with eggs and avocado, lunch with a serving of salmon and leafy greens, and dinner with chicken, quinoa, and roasted vegetables. Adding a small collagen supplement or bone broth in the evening can further support bone and joint integrity. Consistency is key. It's not about one perfect day. It's about creating habits that your body responds to over weeks and months. Take K2 in the morning with fat, magnesium at night, D3 with meals, and pair all this with regular exercise and protein-rich meals. Another simple strategy is to combine movement with nutrition. For example, after breakfast, a brisk 20-minute walk helps stimulate bone remodeling while your body absorbs K2 from your meal. Post-dinner resistance band exercises or light squats before bed not only strengthen bones but also improve balance, reducing fall risk. Finally, small adjustments in daily life amplify these effects. Carrying groceries in both hands, standing instead of sitting when possible, and including short bursts of movement throughout the day all send signals to your bones to stay strong. Margaret, who we met earlier, added these tiny lifestyle tweaks to her protocol, and over the course of a year, she noticed not only improved bone density, but also less fatigue, stronger posture, and a renewed sense of independence. By combining K2, magnesium, vitamin D, protein, collagen, and targeted exercise, you create a system that actually rebuilds bone strength, reduces fracture risk, and supports the active, independent lifestyle you want well into your 70s and beyond. Now that we've covered what works, it's just as important to understand what can sabotage your bone health. Even the most diligent routines can fail if you're unknowingly making these mistakes. First, let's talk about supplement pitfalls. Many people think that taking a calcium pill before bed is enough. The reality? If you take calcium on an empty stomach without vitamin D, magnesium, or K2, it often sits unused, passing through your system without ever reaching your bones. Meanwhile, your bones continue to weaken silently year after year. Another common mistake is high-dose vitamin A. While vitamin A is essential for vision and immunity, too much, especially in supplement form, can actually weaken bones by interfering with vitamin D activity. Some over-the-counter multivitamins contain dangerously high doses, so always check labels carefully. Medication interactions are another hidden risk. Acid blockers, commonly used for heartburn, reduce stomach acid needed to absorb calcium. Certain corticosteroids can accelerate bone loss. Even some blood pressure medications can interfere with mineral balance. Ignoring these interactions can nullify all the effort you put into supplements and nutrition. Lifestyle habits also play a huge role. Smoking, for example, restricts blood flow to bones and slows healing, dramatically increasing fracture risk. Excessive alcohol consumption disrupts calcium balance and interferes with vitamin D metabolism. And prolonged inactivity, like sitting all day, sends a message to your bones that they don't need to stay strong, accelerating bone loss. Let's consider a dramatic example. Mary, 70, took calcium supplements diligently, drank her milk, and even walked a few times a week. But she smoked a pack of cigarettes daily and enjoyed nightly wine. One morning, she tripped while getting out of bed and suffered a hip fracture. Despite all her good habits, the combination of lifestyle choices and lack of cofactor support left her bones vulnerable. Another mistake I see often is timing supplements incorrectly. Some people take magnesium at the same time as calcium or vitamin D late at night without food. These small errors can reduce absorption by 30,000 to 50%, meaning all those nutrients never make it to the bones. Skipping protein or collagen is another subtle mistake. Bones are not just minerals, they have a collagen matrix that gives them structure and flexibility. Without protein, your bones remain brittle, no matter how much calcium you consume. Even something as simple as neglecting weight-bearing exercise is critical. Many adults rely solely on walking on flat surfaces or cardio machines, thinking movement alone will protect their bones. In reality, bones need mechanical stress to remodel and strengthen. Without it, calcium and other nutrients have nowhere to anchor effectively. The takeaway? Protecting your bones isn't just about what you take. It's about how, when, and under what circumstances you take it. Avoid these common mistakes: skipping cofactor nutrients, mistimed supplements, medication conflicts, smoking, excessive alcohol, inactivity, and inadequate protein. Each one can quietly undermine your efforts and leave you vulnerable to fractures. Understanding what to avoid is just as crucial as knowing what to do. By eliminating these hidden risks, you maximize the benefits of nutrients, exercise, and healthy lifestyle habits, giving your bones the strongest possible foundation for the years ahead. Next, we'll wrap everything up with final advice, a bonus tip, and a step-by-step plan you can implement today to rebuild your bones, protect yourself from fractures, and maintain independence well into your later years. Let's take a moment to tie everything together. We've talked about why calcium alone isn't enough, and now you understand the hidden nutrients your bones desperately need. Vitamin K2 to direct calcium, magnesium to activate vitamin D, and vitamin D itself to ensure absorption. But nutrients alone aren't enough. You also need weight-bearing exercise to signal your bones to remodel, adequate protein and collagen to build a strong collagen matrix, and lifestyle choices that support, rather than sabotage, your bone health. Think of it like building a house. Calcium is the bricks, K2 is the foreman, magnesium is the power to the tools, vitamin D is the delivery truck, protein and collagen are the foundation, and exercise is the construction crew. Skip any piece and the house is weak, but follow the system consistently, and you're building bones that are resilient, strong, and fracture-resistant. The kind of bones that let you maintain independence and confidence as you age. Here's a bonus tip that many people overlook. Short daily sun exposure. Just 10 to 15 minutes of sun on your arms or face helps your skin naturally produce vitamin D, which works synergistically with K2 and magnesium to improve calcium deposition into your bones. Even a simple morning walk outside before breakfast can make a meaningful difference over time. Pair it with a micro-exercise routine. 5 minutes of bodyweight squats, calf raises, or wall push-ups to stimulate bone remodeling. Small, consistent actions compound into significant long-term benefits. Now consider the bigger picture. Protecting your bones isn't just about avoiding fractures. It's about preserving independence, maintaining mobility, and enjoying the quality of life you deserve. Imagine being able to bend, lift, and walk confidently without fear of breaking a bone. That freedom, that confidence, is priceless. And it's absolutely within your reach when you follow this complete system. Take Margaret, Robert, Helen, and George, the real people we've met throughout this video. Each of them implemented the right nutrients, exercise, and lifestyle adjustments. The result? Improved bone density, reduced fracture risk, and a renewed sense of confidence. They can walk in the park, carry groceries, play with grandchildren, and live active, independent lives, things that seemed impossible before. Here's the key takeaway. Calcium is only one piece of the puzzle. True bone strength comes from a coordinated approach. K2, magnesium, vitamin D, protein, collagen, weight-bearing exercise, sunlight, and avoiding harmful habits like smoking, excessive alcohol, and inactivity. Each component works together to rebuild bones from the inside out. Now it's your turn. Start small, but start consistently. Take K2 in the morning with fat, magnesium at night, vitamin D3 with meals, eat protein-rich foods, add a micro-exercise routine, and get a few minutes of sunlight daily. Over weeks and months, these small, consistent actions will add up to stronger bones, fewer fractures, and more confidence in your daily life. And here's something to motivate you even further. Your bones are living tissue. They respond to what you do today. You have the power to rebuild them, protect them, and reclaim the independence you may have feared was slipping away. Don't wait for a fracture to force change. Take action now. Finally, if you want to continue protecting your bones, you cannot miss our next video. We'll uncover the silent bone destroyer hiding in your kitchen right now, a common habit that weakens bones without anyone realizing it. Fixing it could make all the difference between fragile bones and a strong, resilient skeleton. So, tell me in the comments, which of these nutrients or habits have you been missing or taking wrong? I read every comment, and I want to help you start building stronger bones today. Remember, bone health is more than supplements. It's a lifestyle, a system, and a commitment to yourself. By following the steps we've discussed, you're investing in independence, mobility, and confidence for years to come. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Your bones are counting on you, and the next video will reveal the secret that most seniors completely overlook.